I know.
So, what do we want to talk about first? I know we were talking about me joining the team. That's
Yep, you
kind of
joined
going
during
out.
COVID, so
Yeah.
you had to show, well, you had to sell houses without even being able to train on how to show them, so that was fun.
Abs-
What else happened during COVID? We couldn't do home inspections. We couldn't have photographers in. So yeah, it was a really bad time for you to start because I couldn't train you in anything.
Yeah, I
But
think I remember our first time going around was you had to show me, I think it was 6 of your own listings that you
oh
had.
yeah, that's
We
right.
met up one night and you said, "Let's go look at these 6 properties. They're all my
Yep. I
listings.
don't even know if
They're
legally
all
we could have done that.
yeah,
Could do it, but we did it.
they all were vacant for some reason. They
Yeah.
were either about to be closing or the buyer or the sellers had already moved out. So we were
Yeah.
able to kind of go in and
Yeah.
do my first run of opening lock
Yeah.
boxes and checking out
Yeah.
furnaces, all that sort of stuff. So kind of crazy we had to do it under the cover of darkness during
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID.
It worked out though. You sold a lot your first year for sure.
Absolutely.
But
What
that
do you
yeah.
look for in a buyer's agent when you're looking to add to your
Um
team? What do you think is a great
Personality is huge. You have to you got to humanize yourself when you're a buyer's agent. If not, then they're just going to go to somebody else. It's you have to be friendly. You have to have a personality. Um, and that's why I mean that's why you're so successful with it. I think that's why I'm successful for it. You always find those people that never laugh or don't have a personality themselves, but you have to bring it out of them. You got to humanize yourself, and then this way they look at your friend. Like I've gone to so many people's weddings. I've had clients try to hook me up with their family members. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's true. I feel like our clients, especially with our team, our clients actually become family and
friends. Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Like our huge appreciation party that we do
yeah,
every year.
yeah.
I mean, we've gotten at least 100, 150 people, their kids, their
Oh my God,
cousins,
yeah,
aunts and
absolutely.
uncles. We're
And then our
able to,
pies, our hundreds of pies that we buy for our clients every year
yeah,
for
absolutely.
Thanksgiving.
Every Thanksgiving, we like to give away all of our pies to all of our past clients that
Yeah,
have bought properties or sold properties with us in the past year, kind of just to say thank you.
yeah. We really do end up being friends with our clients too.
Yeah,
It's funny, but
absolutely. I think
most
that
of them, anyways. We always got the pain in the butt ones, but
yeah, not everyone can be our dream
yeah,
client, but I think you have a really unique way of handling clients, whether they're friendly or the
yeah,
ones that, where they're going
yeah,
through a divorce, they're having financial struggles, they're relocating and they don't know what to do. That's
yeah,
where you kind of come in and
yeah.
are able to coach them.
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
it's impossible to make everybody happy, but we do a really good job with making most of our clients happy.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's the repeat business, which is important,
Oh yeah.
especially on
Yeah.
the buyer's end. You want to gain the trust of the buyers, because after a couple of years, it may just be a starter home and they're going to need an
Yeah.
agent again.
Average is 5 years that somebody lives at their house. So yeah. And that's what you shine with is first time home buyers. You're younger. So you can really kind of get your foot in the door that way. And then there was the birds. And
Yeah,
she's a pastry chef, so she needed a bigger kitchen.
yeah.
Yeah.
We looked at it wasn't even very many
No, it was
homes,
just a
but
couple.
there was
Yeah.
this one and it had the dream kitchen.
Yeah.
And as soon as they walked in, they saw that kitchen. She's a baker, like you
Yeah.
said. There was a massive island, tons of natural light, had just
Mm-hmm.
been updated. And the listing agent was actually someone at our previous brokerage that we knew well.
Yep.
I gave him a call, explained, our buyer's super interested. He said that there was some other interest. So we had to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But between yourself and I, we
Yeah.
came up with the perfect offer. They
Yep.
got their offer accepted.
I think that was the first house they actually offered on
That was
too,
their
right?
first house that they were actually
Yeah.
able to make a decision
Yep.
and say, this is the house that we want. And when I saw their reaction to the home after walking through it, I was like, we cannot lose for
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
And you know what?
Yeah, because they were only there at their house for a couple of years, and then we were able to get them over asking
Mhm.
for their current house. So that one worked out good. They're a fun couple too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. We still stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
Even though they left the city of Tonawanda,
Hmm.
they're still huge advocates of the area. So
Absolutely.
we'll
Yep.
keep in touch with them forever.
Of course.
So yeah, I mean, especially you and your business since you've been in it for 20 years, and me naturally, being a part of your team and just Tonawanda being a great spot for first-time
Yeah.
home buyers.
Tonawanda's huge.
I would say
It's
that's where a
affordable.
majority of our business is.
Yeah.
You want to name a couple things that make Tonawanda so special?
So, City of Tonawanda in particular, I'm on a couple boards. I'm on the LDC. It's a local development for businesses. So I try to help businesses get on their feet. COT Neighbors United. That is more of a family committee. We have pop-up playgrounds. We have like plant swaps. We have our historical home tour that we'd like to run. That's City of Tonawanda. We actually are combining it with North Tonawanda this year, so that will be exciting. But yeah, with the water and all the grants that we just got,
Hmm.
within the next 5 years, there's going to be a huge change in the city of Tonawanda. And I still think they're so affordable, when you look at Tonawanda compared to Amherst, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. But yeah, we have a lot of things, and our office is on Main Street, so we're on the Strip, and we see new businesses coming up. So, um, but yeah, I love our Tonawandas.
I mean, City of Tonawanda has the great waterfront. I know some
Hmm.
of the grants are going to kind of try and revitalize that area, some of the
Yeah,
walkways, some of the boardwalks, stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
We have Prescott's Provisions, which is a great restaurant
Yeah,
right on the
that's my favorite
water.
restaurant.
Me too.
They
Yeah.
change their menu. They change the drink menu all the time, so they try to keep it in season. It's my favorite for sure.
Especially with the patio being right on the
Mhm.
water.
Yep.
The only other place I think that offers that is kind of like Dockside, District
Yep.
37's right around the corner now,
Yep. We
which
got
is a nice
Remington
spot.
there. We need more restaurants in the city of Tonawanda, so hopefully that will come with time. But Prescott's is really probably the best one in the city of Tonawanda right now.
I would agree. Yeah. Being able to walk up and down the canal, the bike path, everything right there, it's super accessible. And then being able to have an affordable
Yeah,
home,
yeah,
right down the street is great.
yeah. And then I believe they got a grant for right across the street from Prescott, so there should be some, rebuilding and stuff over there as well, which will be exciting for city of Tonawanda.
Very cool. Do we want to talk a little bit about the historic home tour? We usually do that at the end of
Yep.
summer, early
And yeah,
fall.
we're gonna probably do it more in the fall this year. More houses seem to be available to show. It's tough in the summer, with weddings and people getting in camping and all that. So I think we're gonna always end up doing it in the fall now. But we already got some North Tonawanda houses signed up, so we'll be able to combine North Tonawanda this year. But yeah, the homes tour, it's super fun. Usually there's some type of appetizer or drink at the houses. I know I open up my house and I have a first floor bar, so I always get a bartender and we do our old fashions or Manhattans. And have a good spread in my dining room. But it's fun. All you do is tour the house. If the homeowner doesn't want you in a room, we block it off or shut the door. But it's fun because a lot of these houses, a lot of city of Tonawanda people, they've been here forever. So they want to see the house that their best friend used to live in when they, were growing up. So
Yeah, it is really
yeah,
cool. I
it is fun.
hosted last
It's
year for the
fun.
first time. I don't know why. I think I was out of town the
Yeah,
previous couple
yeah,
of years for
yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah.
But last year I remember I hosted. I was at one of the houses on Morgan Street
Yep.
that
Yep.
has some crazy history to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool just seeing people walk in and say, "Look at this
Everybody loves
house."
it too.
And
It's a good time. It's
yeah,
fun. I always like it.
yeah, it's a
I
blast
think,
from the past,
yeah.
and it's you don't see these homes anymore.
No,
Everyone's
no.
coming in painting everything white and gray. So
Yep.
to see all the beautiful
Yep.
woodwork, all the original stained glass windows, it really
Yeah.
brings people back,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And it's just it's fun. Everybody's super nice when they come through. Everybody loves it. It's a lot of like an older generation, which is fine, because
Yeah.
they remember these houses. They've been through them. My house used to be it was a single, then a 3 unit. There's a dentist office in it, and then the owner before me converted back to a single. So people like to see the change in it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Even your house has some history.
Oh yeah, it's 1870 or something stupid.
That's
It's
how that
something
your house was
super
built in
old. Yeah.
1870.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said it's been a
It was
single family.
single
It was
family,
turned
then
into
a double,
triple double.
and then like the front of the house was a dentist office.
Wow.
So, and then the owner before me, he owns Tonawanda Woodworking. He converted it back to a single. So, not all the woodwork's original, but a lot of it is. And if it's not, it was nicely added onto at least.
Yeah.
But
And you grew up in the city of
I grew
Tonawanda.
up
I
in the
feel like
city.
I remember you saying you kind of had your
Yeah.
eye on this house since
Yep,
you
I
were a
grew up on
kid.
Mullen. So, yep, yeah, I used to ride my bike around Clinton and Elmwood Park. And I went to go get this house as a listing. And then because my house was just remodeled, I was done with it. I was going to be there a long time. And this one happened to come up. My mom told me about it. I went to try to get the listing and I ended up buying it instead.
Oh, that's a
So,
story. I
yeah,
think that's kind of how it has to happen
yeah.
for if
Oh,
someone
yeah.
like you, right?
It's way too big for me and my daughter, but I'm in love with it. And I don't know if I'd ever be able to leave now.
That's like a crown jewel of the city, I
I
would say.
know. It is. It is. It's got a front office. I've done so much to it too. So,
Very
but
cool. Well, if anyone wants to check out Sam's house, you can
yep.
come to the historic home tour, and she'll have a
Any of my lovers
Manhattan
are
or an old
heaters out
fashioned
there.
ready on the bar for
Yep.
you.
Yep. Oh.
So yeah, you've thrown a number of parties there. We had Derby
Mhm.
Day there, which is super
Yep.
fun. So
Yep, I do my Halloween party every year. Um, what else do we do there? We have a lot of parties at my house. You know
yeah.
this. We have a lot of pool
Well, when
parties,
we
but
work as hard as we do,
I
we need to
know,
have
I know,
fun.
and we cannot go on vacation in the spring or summer,
No.
so we're bound to my pool.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
works out. It's fun.
Yeah, especially for the team. It's a nice place for us to
Mhm.
gather on a hot day that's not the
Mhm.
office.
Yep, we can do our team meetings by the pool. We'll have some new pool TikToks this year, but
I think like you and I actually bonded because I joined the team. It was, 2020, 2021, but we didn't really get to do anything besides work
yeah.
together for the
Mm.
first little bit. And then I remember in the fall, you had asked me if I wanted to go to the Bills game.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
said, absolutely. I said, if you're going, I'm going.
Right.
And I think you really didn't know who I was
Yeah, I didn't
until
know who
that
you were.
Bills
I'm like, I
game.
don't know if he's ready for me and my friends. We get pretty drunk and rowdy at Bill's games. But yeah, you came. You fit in well. You knew all the songs to Eminem to Lil Wayne. You fit in real well. It was quite the car ride home. It was fun. It was. I think we were in Borman's box, right?
Yeah, Rick Borman, one of our
Yeah.
attorneys we work
Yep.
with, him,
Yep.
he had a box there at
Mm-hmm.
the Ralph Wilson Stadium. So you said, "Are you
Yep.
are
So
you
it was a
available?" And I
yeah, but it was
said,
hard liquor because
"Why not?"
it was in a suite. So
And I made it. And
oh
I
yeah,
think after that was when
yeah,
I knew
yeah.
I was on the right
Yep,
team, and
absolutely. I'm
you
like,
knew
oh,
that you had made
he's
the
gonna
right
be here
choice.
forever. But yeah, and then the one time you did the wrong open house.
Oops.
We won't tell any of our clients which house it was, but I had a client call and asked if we are going to come to the open house because we were getting pretty close. And I called Patrick, and Patrick's like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm setting up. I'm setting up right now. I got my open. I'm already in the house." I'm like, "Patrick, what house are you at?" And Patrick was at the wrong open house. Luckily, the homeowners were not at the other one because technically he broke in. But everything worked out fine. It was a vacant house anyways,
Yeah.
but everything worked out good, and we sent him to the right open house. And yeah, that was quite the day.
Yeah, that was crazy. We were talking back and forth about two different properties,
Yep.
and I totally misread. And sure enough, I just myself in the one
Yep.
house, turned all the lights on. Thank God the homeowners were not in the
Yeah.
shower or having breakfast, whatever it was, because I let myself right.
Yeah, yeah. What other showings have you ever walked in on a showing that was never confirmed from the listing agent?
Not that it wasn't confirmed, but
Mhm.
I have walked in and, found people sitting at the kitchen table,
That forgot
still
about
sleeping
it.
in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
forgot that it was happening.
Tenants
So
are always fun because they always forget about showing appointments. So I walked into people that are in their bathrobes and when they're supposed to be gone. But yeah, tenants are usually the best for showing stories.
I think our team structure is amazing.
Hmm.
We all are really self-sufficient. We have
I
Aaron,
love our
who's
team.
I do too. We have Aaron, our administrator,
Yep.
our transaction coordinator, who kind of babysits and tracks
Yep.
everyone for us. We have an amazing marketer that's been,
Yep.
doing great with our social media.
Yep.
Maria, Corey, Jennifer, myself, all as
Hmm.
buyers agents. There's tons of buyers, so
Yep.
we all have
I
plenty
love
to
that
do.
everybody has a different personality on our team too. We all combined very well together, but everybody's kind of got their own little
Yeah, we're
personality.
all our own people
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
We all get along very well. I think it's
Yeah.
because we kind of balance each other out in a
Absolutely.
sense. So
Absolutely.
what one person lacks, the other person definitely makes up in.
100%. 100%. We have a fun team.
Yeah. So I mean, that's been able to help us stand out.
Hmm.
When we have a seller that, needs to turn around and buy, you have a great buyer's agent
Yeah.
that's able to help them on the buy side, whereas
Yep.
you're able to, then help them focus on listing.
Yep.
You've had some crazy success stories
Yeah.
with listing.
Yeah,
I've
we
seen,
had. Yeah.
from 30,000 to
Yeah.
130,000
We
over
had
the
one in
asking.
Lancaster that was $130,000 over asking. We had one in the city of Tonawanda for 110. Another one in Tonawanda for like $90,000 over asking. So we do very well, especially with our marketing. Our marketing's huge when it comes to listings.
Yeah, I think you probably go in and you put a price on that home. The
Mhm.
market's hot, so we anticipate that it goes a little bit above that.
Yep.
But some of these we don't expect
Yep.
them to go so crazy.
No, yeah, it's tough to even tell sellers what to list their house for nowadays, but
Yeah,
we.
sellers, I'm sure, are more than happy with the results.
Hmm.
And then I think that helps us as buyers agents too. We're able to get the feedback directly from you,
Yep.
see what some of these listings that are going for in
Yeah.
the area.
Hmm.
And then if we have a buyer that needs to go offer on another house, this is where we're
Yeah.
saying,
I tell you
hey,
what not to do
yeah,
because I'm on the other side rejecting them all the time.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, when you got to pick one out of 20,
hmm.
you're tailoring our
Yeah.
offers with us to help
Yeah.
us win for every single one of our
Yeah, a lot
buyers.
of agents don't think of a lot of things,
Yeah, it's just
But
those little details, and you've been on both sides of it, so it helps
yeah,
us.
absolutely. We do well with it. Yeah, we're usually getting the offers accepted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say if I have a buyer that's not getting their offer accepted after 2 or 3 tries, then we really need to go back to the drawing board and
Yeah.
figure out what's going wrong. Because either
Yeah.
we're in the wrong price point, or
Mhm.
we need to make some sort of adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of tricks that we're not going to obviously tell everybody, but we have a lot of tricks up our sleeve,
Yeah.
especially with getting offers accepted.
So yeah, if you want those tricks, Moscato team's here for
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Absolutely. You know what, another thing we can get into how long we've like been the number one team in the
Yeah.
Tonawandas and how like we're number 12
Hmm.
in, or I think, yeah, 12 now in Western New York.
Yeah.
We can get into that.
Okay. So I'm going on my fourth year with you, which is crazy.
Yep.
You're going on your 20th or
Yeah.
21st year.
Yeah.
I know you have some crazy stats, especially in the
Yeah.
Tonawanda
Yeah.
area. Do you want to share some?
We've been Um, number one in the city of Tonawanda since like 2011. Number one in the Tonawandas for at least the last 10 years. Um, um, top 1% Western New York for God knows how long. Um, I think we were 12 in all the board this year, which is huge because there's like over 3,500 agents. So that's really good. Every year we jump up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
And we're not against just agents, we're against some big teams that
yeah.
have,
Oh yeah, huge.
way more agents than
Yeah,
we
and
do.
that's just volume wise. Like when you actually go down to transaction, I think we're like top 5. So that
Yeah.
means we just help more people.
It just means that we
Yeah.
really wake up every day and our purpose is to help people buy,
Yeah.
sell,
Yeah.
rent, achieve their real estate dreams,
Yeah.
and we're not stopping
Yeah.
until everybody's happy.
Yeah. Because a lot of agents like they'll be more in the $1 million volume, but they're only selling like like 10 to 20 houses a year. When we're I think what did we sell last year? Like
I
115
think
or
we were
something.
at 130
Yes,
almost. I think
130. Like
130
that's
families that we were able to
crazy.
help. That's
That's
huge.
crazy. That's crazy. That's really we do good.
Yeah. Good for us.
Good for us. But yeah, yeah, I love real estate. I'm stuck with it now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, there's no other path for either of
no.
us. We're in too deep.
Yep. Yep. We ain't never getting out of it. No, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I almost quit real estate so many times when I first started. There was so much heartbreak and, my family not using me or my friends not using me. And, it's really, you got to train these people that, I still just got the other day that they thought I only sold houses in Tonawanda, which is crazy to me because I think Tonawanda is probably only, what, 20% of our business because we're
Hmm.
all over the place,
Yeah,
you
I would
know?
say we are Tonawanda heavy. That
Yeah,
is where that's our
absolutely.
bread and butter. We know the area. We
Mm-hmm.
are the local experts.
Yeah,
But that
absolutely.
doesn't mean we can't go out to other
No,
parts
yeah,
of
we go
Western New
everywhere.
York
Yeah.
and do the
And
same
numbers
thing that
don't
we're
lie.
doing.
Like, we don't have to sell hundreds of houses in an area to be able to get it sold better than somebody else.
Yeah.
But,
And Buffalo's a small town, so a lot of
mm-hmm.
these agents that we're working with, we know them.
Oh, God,
They're
yeah,
they're bringing
absolutely.
their whether we may not be going outside of Tonawanda, but they're coming into Tonawanda because there's a ton of inventory.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing them at our open houses.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
seeing them put offers in. So we're meeting
Mm-hmm.
these people, and when we leave the Tonawandas, they know us. So
Yeah.
the Moscato team is definitely a force to be reckoned
Oh,
with.
yeah, absolutely. Good luck coming to Tonawanda and not seeing us. Because, yeah, you're right. Like, you see you're doing open houses. Like, we do our open houses Tuesday to Sunday. So you figure, like, if we have 5 listings in Tonawanda, these buyers are looking at, one of you guys, like, every day of their lives when they're looking, basically.
Hmm.
So when other agents drop the ball, we're right there to pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they already know us.
There's more times I'll do open house after open
Mm-hmm.
house after open house, and we'll be at different properties, but I'm seeing the same buyers,
Yep.
and that's where I kind of have a conversation
Yeah.
with them, and I say, "Happy with your
Yeah.
agent? Because I've seen you
Probably
10
not.
times over the last six
Yeah.
months. You're
Yeah.
still looking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's time for a second opinion."
Yeah. Yeah. That's true, though. That's true.
Feel like the Buffalo market obviously is hot. We were named again Zillow's 2025 hottest
Yeah.
market, which
Yeah.
we're seeing to be true.
Yeah.
Some of the listings that I've had buyers putting offers in on are going bananas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has to be the right house. It has to be maintained well.
Mm-hmm.
The photos have to be taken nicely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing some properties that, if everything's not 100%, some buyers are kind of passing along those.
Yeah.
Is there any tips of what you think sellers should be doing,
I
or
think touch-up paint goes a long way. If you're not a good cleaner, get it professionally cleaned, especially if it's vacant. I think little things like that, just getting it show ready, landscaping, mow your lawn, little cheap things go a long way in this market. 'Cause you could have a kitchen from the 50s, but if it's maintained and it's in good shape, buyers don't care.
No.
Buyers, more first-time home buyers, they're scared of roofs, furnaces, the big ticket items, and then they'll have fun with the kitchen, especially since Pinterest. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like they look at cabinets, they're like, okay, well, these will look good navy blue. So buyers aren't scared
Yeah.
of outdated kitchens, all that. It's the big ticket items, I think.
I agree 100%. When I'm bringing buyers through, I kinda tell them that too. I'm like, "Here's the turnkey
Mhm.
house. You're gonna have to pay for it. It may not have been done well,
Mhm.
depending on who did it.
Mhm.
Here's a stated home, that Betty and Bob have been in for the last
I love
55
Betty and
years."
Bob.
Betty and Bob. They're the best homeowners, though,
Yeah.
because they made sure that roof was clean every
Yeah.
year. They took
Mhm.
care of their gutters.
Yeah.
When the driveway needed replacing, they did it. You
Yeah.
know, filters have been replaced, the furnace is working well, the electric panel's updated.
Yeah.
Maybe the kitchen's yellow
But that's
with
fine,
with
yeah,
some
and not for
older.
nothing, if I'm gonna spend 30 grand, I'd rather spend it on a kitchen opposed to a roof. No one wants to be like, "Hey, guys, come over and check out my new roof."
Yeah, look
No,
at the
you
new
wanna say
asphalt.
yeah, yeah, you want the kitchen. You
Yeah,
wanna spend the money in the kitchen, and then you can have fun with it. And then we have the buyers that are still waiting for the market to drop. It's not happening here,
it's
guys. It's
not
never
happening.
happening. It never has, never will. It will stabilize a little bit, but every spring, these properties are going up. The only thing you could do is buy now and refinance when the interest rates go down.
Yeah.
Because as for property value, not a chance. It's not going down.
No.
Never has. Never
And we
will.
don't know about rates either. I feel
No.
like 2 years ago, we were having the same conversation.
Mhm.
The rates had just spiked.
Mhm.
People are freaking out. They said, "I'm gonna wait."
Mhm.
And now the rates are continuing to rise. The home prices have gone up 10% in the
Mhm.
past 2 years,
Yeah.
and now it's just as
We're
expensive,
not.
if
Yeah. We're
not
not like
more than it
any other
was.
state. We're not like other states.
No. So
We're
if
already
if
cheap.
if you're seeing this,
Yep.
this is your sign not to
Mhm.
wait. If you can afford to buy, you
Yeah.
should look in there.
Toronto just eats us up. We're so damn cheap compared
Yeah.
to Toronto. Like they just eat us up.
Yeah.
They're buying so many Airbnbs here. So.
Mhm. Yeah, and yeah, it's people coming from all over Toronto,
Mhm.
LA,
Yep.
Atlanta, other markets. They see what 300,000 in Buffalo can get
Yep.
you is equivalent to 1.5 million in some
Yeah.
other cities. And if you can turn around and, turn that into a short-term or long-term rental and make a crazy profit off of it,
Yep.
it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So, that could be a reason why our prices are going up in the area because there are a lot of investors.
Yep.
But, if you don't own a home, you should jump in line
Yeah.
before it's
And
too
then
late.
rents. I mean, let's talk about rent for a second. It's stupid
Yeah.
what they're charging, and nobody's allowing animals, which is bad. But I'll tell you, like, as a landlord, I've had really bad luck with tenants having animals in there. Like,
Yeah.
they've ruined my apartments. So I get it, but
Yeah.
it's tough. So if you like rent's ridiculous as it is. It's way too pricey. And then people are having a hard time getting anywhere that's going to allow animals, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad because I know people wanna maintain their
Yep.
properties and, not every tenant
Mhm.
maintains it the same way as a homeowner would,
Yep.
especially if they've got pets.
Mhm.
Everybody wants their fur baby, especially after COVID, everyone's
Yeah.
got their kitten, their
Everybody has
puppy.
animals now, I
Yeah,
feel like.
you and I
Yeah.
both have dogs, we both
Yeah,
have had cats, so we need our animals,
for sure.
but it is tough when renters are not able to bring them along.
Yeah.
But that's just another reason that, if you are
Gotta
spending
buy,
15,
unfortunately.
17,
Yeah.
$2,000 a month in rent, you might as well buy something
Yes,
anyways.
absolutely. Fix up that credit. And if you have bad credit, we can tell you what to do to fix your credit. Because again, it's gonna be a lot cheaper at the end of the day to buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Rent's only going up. It goes up every year. Every year. Every year.
And so do the property values. So
Mhm.
if you buy now, at least your mortgage could stay the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have a lot of different they have recasting loans now. I mean, obviously you can refinance. There's a lot of things you can do if the interest rate does come down.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we do talk about these bidding wars. Houses are
Mhm.
going 20, 50,
Yeah.
70 over the asking price. But, maybe you're in a position where you don't need the perfect turnkey house. You're okay doing a couple of the projects. Keep an eye out for those price
Mhm.
reductions for those houses that have been sitting for 2 or 3 weeks. Doesn't mean necessarily something's
No.
wrong. It might just mean it's
No.
overpriced and
Yeah.
you could then design your offer,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
not even overpriced at this point because I feel like buyers say you're approved for 250, a lot of buyers aren't looking at houses over 200, 210, just because they don't want to set themselves up for that multiple offer failure. So they're waiting for a house to be on the market for 1 to 2 weeks
Mm,
before they even look at it, so they know they have a fighting chance. So it
exactly.
might not even be overpriced. It might be at the cap, and that's why people are looking at it and going, and I'm not over going over asking with this.
Yeah. Yeah, because they see the condition, they see the area, they see the value, it's already priced high, so if it sits, they say, "Maybe we can get it near the
Yeah.
asking price," and it
Yeah.
would be worth it at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So deals are still to be
Yeah.
had in
Yeah. Just because
Buffalo.
it's on the market for 2 weeks doesn't mean it's overpriced.
No, no, it just means the right person hasn't seen it
Yep.
yet.
Or it's meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. It was fun having you in today,
I had fun
Sam.
here.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the team and what
Yeah.
made us us. And
Yeah.
I think moving forward, we just want to say, the Muscato team's always here for you,
Yeah.
whether you're a buyer, seller, looking to rent, or just
Mhm.
have questions about the market
Yeah.
or real estate in
Yeah.
general. We're here. We want you to ask the questions so that you're informed. And if you have
And no
anybody
questions
else,
are stupid.
yeah, there's no stupid questions.
Yep.
We answer everything a million times.
Mhm.
There's some stuff we have to remind ourselves about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna answer it best we can, and we're here to help.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're always here.